So I can't believe I'm saying this, but today we're going to be reviewing what might be one of the best Invictus flankers we have so far, the new Invictus Victory. So of course, the entire Invictus line is very popular and very successful. Everything from the original Invictus to Invictus Aqua, which was really one of the most hyped summer fragrances ever, and one that just took off in a very short period of time. Of course, we have Invictus Intense. Don't hear too much about that one. And of course, we have Invictus Legend, which isn't too bad. I would say for the most part, everything aside from Invictus Aqua has been just okay. I think they really did best with the original and Invictus Aqua. They've been trying with some flankers here and there, but none of them have really taken off like Aqua did. When I saw Victory announced, I'll admit I wasn't too pumped for it. I was curious, and of course I did check it out and pick it up very early on, and I did do a first impressions on this one in case you missed that video. You can go check it out if you would like. I wasn't chomping at the bit to try this one, but I was curious, and I'm really glad that I got my hands on this one and did a video on it and was able to try it for myself because I really like this fragrance. I liked it in the first impressions video, and as I've had some time to wear this one more, test it more, I think I like it a little bit more. So today we're going to be reviewing this one. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think this one is worth picking up. So let's kick things off with the note breakdown. Up top we have lemon, pink pepper. In the mid we have lavender, olibanum. In the base we have vanilla, tonka bean, and amber. So for me, when I first spray this one on, I do get some spiciness from the pink pepper. Get a little bit of a fresh lemon here. And what I noticed right away is I do pick up on that vanilla, that sweetness, some of that amber as well. But I find that the vanilla in this one comes across almost a bit dusty. And to me, it's almost like more of a benzoin note rather than a vanilla. So this doesn't have like a super pure, like almost syrupy vanilla smell like some vanilla fragrances do and like some notes out there. This one is more dusty and refined and sweet, mixing with that amber. And immediately when you first spray this one on, you'll notice that it doesn't really smell that much like the original Invictus. Hardly at all, actually. Now be warned that you still do get some bubblegumminess. That does not go away. That is just kind of a famous key in this Invictus line, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. It wouldn't be Invictus without that bubblegum sweetness. And you do get it in this one, but it doesn't really smell like Invictus. It just has a similar bubblegummy sweet characteristic. Some of you may love that, some of you may hate that. For me, I'm kind of more on the love side. I don't mind Invictus. I think Aqua is the best in the line, and I think it's for sure my favorite. But you know, we have so many other Invictus smelling fragrances out there, and I've just never really been a fan of the original Invictus that much. It's never been a love for me. Zara Wanted, Davidoff Run Wild, the list goes on. All of those smell decent, they're okay. I've never really been in love with any of them. So when I smell this one and don't really get too much of the original Invictus, I'm kind of pumped about that. Because again, there's so much Invictus out there outside of the line. It's nice to have a variation within the Invictus line of flankers here, and that's what you get with Victory. So I get that lavender comes through, gives it a bit of a clean smell. I get that amber. It's a bit of a sweet amber, not like a sticky sweet, super strong amber, but it's a bit more dialed back. There's tonka bean in here as well, and that makes it a bit powdery. The olibanum in here isn't too strong. It's not like it's very smoky. If anything, it's just giving it a mild woodiness and just a little bit of a spiciness, but it's not overboard. Now, if you take a look on Fragrantica, you'll see Victory getting compared to a few fragrances here, and I'll just go through and read them off for you and tell you if I agree or disagree. First one, highly voted, Armani Code Absolute. I don't really think so. Sure, it's got vanilla, sure, it's got tonka bean, but it doesn't really smell like Absolute to me. Up next, we have Pure XS. Honestly, I can see the Pure XS comparison a tiny, tiny bit. This kind of has, in the opening, a bit of a fizzy sweetness, kind of like Pure XS has. And Pure XS has a whole mess of notes, everything from like sugar to some sort of boozy note and a few other things in there, a lot of other things, some sweetness, some freshness, everything. It's kind of got a sugary sweet, almost cola type of opening, and to some tiny extent, I get a similar thing from Victory. And of course, next to that, following that cola theme, would be Armani Code Profumo. Similar, again, a little bit with that opening, but I really wouldn't say that this smells heavily like those. Maybe there's some inspiration, but it still sets itself apart. We've got Pure Excess Night. I don't really get too much night out of this one. Pure Excess Night is very caramel and myrrh heavy with a very spicy ginseng opening. This doesn't really go that direction. Mercedes-Benz Club Black, no, not at all. And actually this is a good example to bring up. The vanilla in Club Black is, to my nose, completely opposite to the vanilla in here. This one is dusty and kind of powdery. In Club Black, it is juicy and sweet and strong and syrupy, and it almost kind of smells like vanilla extract in a way. Bad Boy, no, I don't really get that comparison either. Then, of course, they have an Axe fragrance in there, and kind of just gets worse as you keep going. So just to sum it up in that aspect, I don't really think it smells like any one other fragrance, but sure, it may borrow some ideas with the opening being, you know, just a little bit fizzy like a cola. Like a fizzy cola sweetness. I will say, I do really like the opening of this one. And I think I almost might like the opening better than the dry down. Man, it just opens up sparkling and sweet and sexy and kind of playful right off the bat. For me, this one very much has a nighttime appeal. An evening out type of scent is how I see this one. For dates, for dinners, that sort of thing. Whereas the original Invictus, you could wear during the day. You could also wear it, I guess, out to parties and stuff like that. But it is really just playful and fresh, but also sweet all the way through. Very youthful. And that one is going to be best for a teenager going to parties and that sort of thing. Victory has a bit more of a refined touch, a little bit, making it maybe a bit more appropriate for a date or something like that. And this one is also going to be really the darkest Invictus flanker in the line, even darker than Invictus Intense, which doesn't go as dark as, you know, this one does for sure, making this really nice for fall and winter time. Or even in early spring like right now. We're currently at about 50 degrees today, which is a little bit on the colder side, but that would be perfect temperature for Victory. Like I said, I'm really impressed with this one. Wasn't expecting too much out of it, but I did see the note breakdown before I smelled it, and I thought, okay, this might have a fighting chance for me because it doesn't have the Invictus note breakdown, and that was kind of cool. When I smelled it, I was pleasantly surprised. Performance on my skin is also really good. I get every bit of 8 hours out of this one, and projection, it is on the stronger side as well. Not as strong as Invictus, not as strong as the original 2016 Invictus Aqua, but it is strong. It will get you noticed, and it does linger in the air. I sprayed this one up in the air a few minutes ago. I can still smell it, and you'll find that when you do spray it in the air, or it wafts through the air when you're wearing it, it'll stay through the air quite a while. It's kind of has a good sillage, and it does hang around. Kind of has a dense scent profile to where it does stick in the air really good. And this one is listed as an Eau de Parfum Extreme concentration. Now, what I would have liked to see here in this one is some boozy notes. Now, I know they did it in Invictus Intense, and sure, it's not bad. Invictus Intense, I just don't think really turned out quite as good as I would have liked to, but they have something really good going with this DNA here. I like it how it is. It smells great. But I would have liked to see some rum, okay? Nice sweet rum in the base to add some more sweetness, or alternatively, a nice fresh whiskey top note. That would have been nice. Maybe some cognac, that sort of thing would have been a really nice balance. Would have liked to see maybe some leather in here. That would have been cool. You know, I'm not saying that there needs to be oud in this one or anything. I think, you know, for the Invictus line, probably not going to be a hit for sure. But I think a bit of a booziness here would have been really nice and kind of cool for the line. Even though Invictus Intense kind of has it, I think with this DNA, that would have been a lot better. Booze or leather, that sort of thing, would have been really nice, but it is really well done how it sits. It's still going to be a compliment getter. It's still going to be mass appealing. This one, overall, I think is really well done. And for me, it sits right under Invictus Aqua as my favorite Invictus fragrance. It goes Invictus Aqua is my favorite, and then this one, and everything else can just kind of be elsewhere. I don't really care too much for the others like the original and Legend and so on. It's not that they're bad, because they're not. They just don't really get any attention from me. They just don't really have it going on. Invictus Aqua is more so a nostalgic summertime fragrance for me, which is why I like it so much. I just, you know, really like that scent. But this one here coming in a close second, really well done and impressive. So guys, if you've tried Invictus Victory, let me know what you think down below. If you haven't tried it, are you interested and are you going to? And also, this one is fully available at retailers. You can get it at Macy's. I will link it down below. You can buy it online through them. Not at discounters yet. It's probably going to be a little while, but I'm sure it'll pull up at some point. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.